Good Fortune, PJ Harvey on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, obviously. Steve, Carl. I've got a real one for you. This is a logic question, not a stupid one. Just very quickly. 10 black balls in a bag and 10 white balls in a bag. Yeah. How many balls do you have to pull out to ensure you've got a pair of the same colour?
Well, what's stopping you putting your hand in and pulling out?
Jesus.
Because
I asked for the minimum number. So how many do you have to pull out to ensure you've got a pair? That doesn't say all of them, that'll ensure it.
No,
what's the minimum number you have to pull out?
11, because if the
Why do you need 11?
What? Because there's 10 black balls, 10 white balls, yeah?
Yeah.
Say if you're, for some reason, you pulled out all the 10 black balls.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You'd have a pair, wouldn't you?
You'd have a pair.
After the first 2?
Yeah.
So what's the minimum number you have to pull out to ensure...
2.
No, because you might pull a white one and a black one.
Yeah, but... I don't understand what you're saying.
Sometimes I get that impression, the way you look at me like Helen from Big Brother.
Yeah, but...
I've always assumed that.
Well, right.
What's the minimum number you have to pull out to ensure you have 2 of the same colour?
3.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can use that one.
Yeah. That's a good one.
So what's the minimum number you have to pull out to ensure you have 4 of the same colour?
Oh, God. 8.
Was that a guess?
I don't know. I understand the first one. We've done it now.
Okay, alright, we'll leave it there.
That's good.
Good. Okay. Now
White Van Carl?
this is where we...
Oh, that's too much.
If you'd have seen his face then, Steve, his eyebrows sort of went down while you were doing that thing. He genuinely looked pained.
It's like you're back at school, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's starting to get hard work now.
No, okay, we just do White Van Carl then. This is your opinions. You can't be wrong on this, can you?
There's no right or wrong answer here. Okay.
Right.
But so this is where we ask Carl his views on the big news stories of the week. Basically, we've stolen an idea from the Sun newspaper, and
so this isn't cruel, this programme, is it?
Oh, I don't think so.
Picking on me.
It's not, is it?
It's weird because a few people have said, "Oh, you're picking on me." It depends how you look at things, isn't
Sure.
it?
Yeah, but you do like it?
We could look at it like it's a laugh, so it's not a problem for us.
You know we like you. You know you're our favourite.
Yeah.
I'm going to say thing in the world, but I don't mean that. In a derogatory way.
No, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So your views, please, on the fact that attitudes are changing to the possible marriage of Charles and Camilla.
Oh, what do you think of
that? The roars at the moment, because of recent tragedies, are apparently high in the polls, and people are coming around to the idea of Charles and Camilla getting hitched. What's your thought?
Whatever, really. I mean, if they're happy with it. The thing that comes out of it most is it just goes to show, right, that there is someone for everyone. Just because, I mean, no disrespect to Camilla, I'm not a good-looking person either, but she isn't a stunner, and yet she's gone and picked up a royal. Right?
Yeah.
So I think it's good for things like that to happen, because it cheers you up. Do you know what I mean? Gives you a bit of hope.
Thanks, Carl.
So yeah, it's good. You know, if they're happy. If anyone's happy, it's a good story, innit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, he's had a bit of bad luck. And now he's got someone else in his life, so...
While he's doing this, I'm just doing a list of questions to ask him what he thinks of things in the world.
Okay.
Is that alright?
Yeah, no problem. Okay, what do you make of... Well, now listen, this may be a non-story, or it may be the biggest story that's about to break. Ulrika Jonsson and Sven Goran Eriksson's affair. Are you familiar with this? It's over the papers today. Apparently, Ulrika and Sven are going out, although there appears to be no evidence for this.
Yeah, I don't even give it time of day.
Do you not?
Quite right, well done.
Doesn't affect me whatsoever, as long as he does his job well.
Yep.
And what's she doing at the moment?
Presenting Dog Eat Dog, I think.
Right, you know.
As long as she does.
As long as they both do their jobs well.
Well, yeah, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
that's going on with a lot of people out in the world, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Just because he's an England boss, as long as, you know, we win the games and that, he's doing his job. If she's, you know, gets a dog winning a prize or whatever.
No, he was... Okay, it's not worth it, carry on.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So...
dog winning a
I
prize.
haven't seen Dog Eat Dog. What's it
Okay,
about?
it's alright. It's
Right,
no, go on.
so that's it. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay, what about this then? Are you disappointed by the nation that a third of us are apparently unaware of St. George's Day?
23rd.
Is St. George's Day the one with the snakes that we've talked about?
No, that's...
Are you one of that third, do you think?
St. George is the patron saint of England who killed the dragon.
Yeah, I mean, there's too many of these days, isn't there? That's the problem. If you make it a bit more special, like Christmas, so you buy presents and that for each other, then people will remember it. But there's so many of these days, with Easter and Pancake Tuesday and all that. So, it's not surprising. I think as time goes on, we'll find that a lot of these days will just disappear, because, you know, people are busy.
There'll be new ones, won't there?
I don't know, people
There'll
are
be
that
like
busy.
Gareth Gates Day in 50 years' time.
It's just weird. I mean, I remember being a kid, right? Going out on a Sunday and shops would be shut because it was like, you know, the day of rest and all that. People don't care now. It's like, oh, we can make some more money, we'll open the shops.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's
Is that a
all
good or a
about-
bad thing, Carl?
It's good, because I remember I used to have to get up early to go and get some bread if we didn't have any in. Because the shop would only be open for a couple of hours in the morning.
Yeah.
Whereas now I'd be able to...
Yeah, I remember
lie in.
that. I remember that. Shops and you couldn't get aspirin and stuff,
Exactly.
certain things.
A nightmare on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
So-
that's right. Yeah, and pubs didn't open till 12.
Do you remember space operas?
Yeah. Yeah. Shut up. Can I ask you something?
Go on.
Okay, I've got a little list of things. What do you think of like those pug dogs that are bred and they can hardly breathe?
Evil.
Yeah. What do you think of gays?
They're alright. Do you know what I mean? Just like straight people, you get bad ones, you get good ones.
Exactly.
Eh?
We've learned a lesson today, haven't we?
Absolutely.
Let's play a record.
Yeah? What do you fancy? A bit of Radiohead?
Yeah.
You don't mind, though, if people think we're gay, for instance, when we go to the Baptist
No,
tomorrow?
that's terrible. I don't want that happening.
Why?
Hey?
Why?
Because I'm not, that'd be a lie. I don't like lying. If I was, I'd say I was gay,
Yeah.
but I'm not.
We'll say you were, just pretend.
We won't get in otherwise.
No.
Just a little kiss and a cuddle.
So I'm a bit gay.
No. I'm not gay.
On XFM 104.9. Wow, near the end of the show, isn't it? You had a good time, Carl?
It's been alright. I knew it wasn't going to be a belter today.
Why? What do you mean? What's up with it?
Because what happens, the last 2 weeks have been quite good, and we always tend to have two good ones, and then one that's just alright.
Well, let the listening public be the judge of that.
Well, yeah,
What-
and the Sony committee.
Yeah, what do you want to do? A clip show of the best... We should do that for our last show. People should vote for their favourite hilarious link.
Yeah.
And then we can put it together on a tape. Right? Is there a rook on it there that wants to release the bit like, I love...
Including
Ricky's
such
Deep.
favourites as, do you like gays?
And, this lad, he had a horse.
Yeah.
Oh, I scored once, I was stung by a bee. Oh, and who can forget? That's lovely. Should you do that? Can you have you kept all these on tape?
Yeah.
So can you do a compilation?
Oh, it's
People
hard-
phone in.
it's hard work,
No,
though.
the next 2 weeks, phone in for your favourite clip. Carl, how can they get hold of you, Carl, in the week? What's your
your direct
email? What's your
mobile
email?
number?
What's your
It's
email?
It's my name with xfm.co.uk.
So, Karl Pilkington.
Carl.Pilkington.
Karl
With
dot...
a K. Carl with a K.
Yeah. Karl.Pilkington at xfm.co.uk.
Yeah.
Vote your favourite link of the last 3 months, and we should make a little compilation and sell it. And we get like Radiohead. They'd love to be on the compilation with us, wouldn't they? Wouldn't they?
Oh, well.
Anyway,
Yeah.
right, do you know, like, you're always giving me questions in the week, you're always saying things like, if I put you in this situation, what would you do?
Like what? Like what?
The bizarre things.
Like what though? Say one.
If you had to lick Barbara Cartland's face,
Yeah.
would it be the right cheek or the left cheek? Or
Sorry, does Barbara want her face being there? No, I'm just saying if that's what she's into, then I don't
She's
mind
dead.
popping...
She's dead. Yeah.
So,
Isn't she? Isn't she?
I don't think she
Just
is.
be careful, because you can't libel the dead, so I want to make sure she's dead before we start saying horrendous things.
But I don't know, I don't think she is dead. I'm almost certain she's not.
I don't think so.
No, she's not.
Phone, is Barbara Cartland dead? 08700 800 1234.
We'll have to get Chris in. So listen, right? So anyway, he always calls up with like bizarre stuff like that. And I was watching a program the other night about snakes,
Right.
and it was like, don't walk through a river that's full of snakes, because
Good work, good advice.
they if you got a kid in the car or in the house, turn your radio down if you don't want them to hear stuff like this. But Yeah, they go for your tackle.
Why?
I don't know, they just do.
They think it's another little snake.
Maybe.
With swollen cheeks.
Earrings.
With earrings, yeah.
So,
Or an anaconda in my case.
With one eye.
I'm really joking.
So yeah, and I said to Ricky, what would you do?
Well,
Right?
it's very scaly.
You two in the woods. You're having a wander, Steve.
Having
a wander.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You walk through. You walk through the river.
What, me?
And yeah,
Okay.
because you're tall, so it's like you can check out how deep it is before Ricky goes through.
Right.
Yeah.
Which you do
sounds right.
You do that sometimes, don't you?
Yeah. But a snake bites your tackle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Say penis.
yeah,
It's the correct word for
I
it. It's
know,
not
I don't-
offensive.
it doesn't sound nice.
Say it. Say it.
Penis, but I don't.
Oh,
like
you
the sound of it.
dirty little,
No,
dirty little slut, Carl. You're a dirty
It's
little.
just one of those words.
Right,
Yeah.
carry on with let's carry on. What's the story? I'm wandering through a river.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the snake bites your penis.
Right.
And
You know, Ricky, like, doesn't leave, like, WC1. Why on earth we're gonna be anywhere near a river where there's sort of...
Well, anyway,
Snakes.
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
you are in this situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
The snake bites you, and I said to Ricky, if it was a matter of life or death, would you suck out the poison? What do you think he said? Well, and the bit I made, because he was thinking about it, and like, oh god, well, he's my best mate and everything, what will I do? And I said, and then Steve starts sort of groaning like he's enjoying it.
I'm just trying to remember what I did do. What did happen in that instant?
Okay.
So I've been bitten on the penis by a snake.
Yeah, there's poison in
There's
your
no
cock.
poison in it.
Yeah.
I've had a go at trying to suck it out myself.
Yeah. Yeah, but
That's not
you've
worked.
never mastered that
I've
one
never been
yet.
able to master that.
Yeah, yeah. It's just such a long spine and such a short, stubby knob that he's got no chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
What
so
would
I
you
have
do?
to get...
He's even had lip extensions. Haven't you? Yeah, go on.
And would Ricky suck it out? Almost certainly not.
Yeah, that's the answer.
Yeah, he'd let me die a hideous, horrible
I'd
death.
go, is there anyone you want a towel? Do you want me to call your mum and dad?
Yeah.
How shall I tell them you died? Is they tell them I died taking a bullet for a lady?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was beating up some nasty people.
Yeah. Would you at least run into the woods and try and find some kind of animal that could do it for me? Some of those monkeys look like they got a good technique.
Right,
Stop it.
one more song.
Yeah.
Only time for song for the what's it?
Oh, we got to share this one then, but we're doing this
Oh,
one.
there was two.
No, we've run out of time.
Well, this is in the Guardian because they print my favourite song is If You See a Sailor. It's If You See a Say Hello by Bob Dylan.
Okay.
A song for the ladies and lovers.
Right, that's it.
And I can't believe we weren't allowed to talk about monkeys giving blowjobs. Since when is that taboo? It's nature, Carl.
They go absolutely mental.
They love it. Absolutely.
Stone Roses on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant.
Hello there.
And Karl Pilkington for the last time.
Indeed.
I'm afraid.
Yes.
So, we're gonna have a little bit of a chat. We're sewing up some things with Karl.
Indeed.
We're giving away that prize, that BAFTA bag, and,
Playing some great music.
and I'm bringing in my favourite tunes. I'm bringing the Smiths, Radiohead, Cat Stevens, David Bowie, Neil Young, the classics. Steve's doing the same.
Indeed.
Well, Karl, the last time for, apparently, someone's got it a bit wrong. We're not actually away for 6 weeks. We're away for about, we'll be back in, August, won't we?
Bloody hell.
Yeah. No, don't swear.
Yeah, that's outrageous.
On the last show, you have to say that.
Already brought the tone down.
Yeah.
Cheapened it,
And I think it's blasphemous as well.
Yeah.
No, it's not. No, hell isn't, is it?
isn't it?
No, I don't think that's not blasphemy, is it?
Taking hell's name in vain.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what was it you were saying the other week about the Queen Mum used to have the right mouth on her?
What?
I don't think we said that on air, Carl.
What?
No, but last week you were saying about bad language, and I was saying, there'll come a time when bad language isn't, doesn't matter anymore. You can F and Jeff and stuff.
Oh, I know what he's talking about, Steve.
Really?
Right, let me explain to you, the listener at home. Carl was worried about swearing, and as a joke, off air, it was last week, we were saying that in the 1940s and 50s, the Queen Mum used to say things like, and we were quoting things she'd said, like, but putting F's and C's in there, and you believed us.
Oh, so this whole week you've believed that we somehow had knowledge that the Queen Mum used to swear
say-
like a trooper?
We were doing fake quotes from her in her voice, but putting in F's and C's, and you believed us. I mean, I didn't even think, I thought you were going along with a joke, but it obviously made an impact.
Carl, we've said this, you've got to question and query everything. You can't take things at face value, certainly not if they come out of the mouths of Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, sorry about that, Carl. It was a little trick.
Is there any other things now that, as
Is
you
there
look back
anything
over
we've
the
said that
time
you've been
we've
thinking
spent
about
with
that I
us?
can tell you now that was a lie?
Anything you've maybe queried or questioned, you know, you've thought, oh, that doesn't seem right, that maybe Ricky's told you?
Something might come to me
Okay.
later on, but...
Okay. Well, what about Carl? I mean, we love you, right? Obviously, we know that, and we've got great affection for you. We look forward to this. I'm going to miss you, really, and I'll tell you what, you've got a heart of gold. Now, wait till you see what the record is, Steve, and you'll see what I've done.
Is it Heart of Gold?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Alright, that's why he's a Bronze Award winner at the Sonys.
I don't get up for bronze. I don't get out of bed for bronze.
No, that's a waste of our time.
Carl Pilkington over there on XFM 104.9. Winner of a bronze award
At the Sony Radio Awards.
The Radio Oscars. So
Man
Phil
alive.
Jupiter said. That's what he called them on Liquid News.
I'll tell you this, Rick, I'm not used to being on a table with losers at an award ceremony.
No, I don't. I'm glad I didn't want to come in to do the final show.
No.
You know, I went straight over and sat with Pete and Jeff, didn't I?
Yeah. I went
And
over to
Radio
the,
4. I went over with Paul Gambaccini.
I went over
That's
to BBC World Service.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot funkier. A lot
Yeah.
cooler.
Won an award.
Yeah,
I won an
they
award.
swept the boards.
Yeah. I don't. Bronze is nowhere.
What was the mood? What was the mood here?
Silver's. What was the mood here?
Because the day after, because people were, I mean, let me tell you now, I think XFM deserved an award, and I thought it was criminal, actually.
But what I did like about that we certainly had the room, because Pete and Jeff said good luck to us and Christian. That was really nice. And then someone else mentioned this.
James Nesbitt.
James Nesbitt said XFM and stuff. So it certainly had the.
Gambaccini said something about it.
Yeah,
Did
so
he?
it
Paul
certainly,
Gamba?
it certainly had the room. And for a local, you've got to realise it's a local radio station, you know, and it can't compete really with Radio 2 and Radio 4. And
But what was the mood the day after here at XFM?
It was alright. I mean, I think we expected a few more,
But
but...
you shouldn't take these things seriously anyway.
but
They're
what
very
I did- yeah, but
flattering,
what I
you
didn't
never
realise,
take
Rick-
awards seriously.
But what I didn't realise is you have to pay thousands of pounds just to nominate.
You're joking.
Just to get into the running for an award. So you've already, you know, they've squandered thousands of pounds.
No, it's
just
not
to get-
thousands,
It
is it?
Well, it mounts up because you pay to enter.
And then the table.
You've got to buy, like, mini-discs and that to send your stuff in on. Which
Sure.
ends up with Sony mini-discs.
Oh, I see what you're saying,
I'm
Carl.
not saying anything.
No.
And also then you've got to pay for the table
Right.
and the food and the drink. I mean, it's a few grand.
I swore on live television as well that night.
Yeah.
But I've never done that before. I mean, I've sworn before, but never accidentally. And we were being interviewed for, and Christian was sort of like, quite, you know, being a bit boisterous, and he must have brought out the worst in me, and I just accidentally said the F word, and I apologised straight away. I didn't want to embarrass Phil Dupas. He was doing a
He
good
does
job.
that himself, yeah.
But I was thinking about yesterday, and you're saying a bronze isn't worth having, right?
Yeah.
But, say like...
We're only joking. None of them are worth having, but they're very nice. They're very nice to
No,
win.
bronze
and
is
it's-
pointless.
But you say that, because, like, bronze is like coming last, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you tell me the name of the person who won the marathon this year? No.
Yeah, but that's because we're not sporty. I'm sure there's lots that can.
But
Yeah.
then, the guy who came last, who was in the swimsuit, people remember him. And
No, I don't remember his name either.
No, what's his name?
No, but he was 6 days late. I mean, he was really
Yeah, but what's
bad.
his name then?
You see, well, no one's remembering either.
No, but if someone said, who won the marathon, I'd go, I don't know, but there was that guy in the swimsuit.
Well, I'd say I don't know. It was a woman.
Yeah.
She had shorts on and trainers.
I'm just trying to...
My point is, what they will remember is that we were losers. That's what they'll remember. They may not remember our names.
Yeah.
They'll just point and shout losers.
We're all winners, aren't we? We're all winners, really.
For taking part, sure.
Yeah.
And it's all subjective as well, isn't it?
Go on.
I mean, I'm not going to moan about awards because you've won a lot of them. It's like saying they don't mean jack. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, right, there's some shows that won awards and you go, yeah, that's, you know, that's worth an award.
I think you've got to treat it. I mean, some awards actually boost your profile or career or your cachet or everything like that. Some it's just a nice night out and it's nice to win, but I don't think you should really take any award that seriously.
What worries me, though, Rick, as I mentioned on the night, is that when I was at school, I mean, you look at me now, you probably think he's an athletic kind of guy, he's a sporty dude, you know, but at school, bizarrely, that was not the case.
No, what were you, a bit of a lanky beanpole? with the
It turns
thing
out,
to-
yeah.
joking.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
So, but, and yet I got a silver, in the high jump. And I've done better in the high jump, right? Did no training whatsoever, did no practice, just turned up.
You were 2.5 foot taller than every other person in your class.
But wait a minute, people think that if you're tall, that makes you easier, it makes it easier for you to do the high jump. Surely not, because I've got all that leg to get over the pole. That makes it harder for me, surely.
Don't talk rubbish.
What are you talking about?
Well, of course, the taller you are, the more chance you got at the high jump.
Well, explain that to me.
What, are you, okay then. So, is it harder for a 6-foot man to step over a matchbox, or a baby midget?
A baby midget? That is tiny, Rick.
Hang on. Here's something I've learned, remember?
Go on.
Back to, like, show 4 or whatever.
Go on.
What is it?
4?
The flea can jump over the London Eye?
No! No, it can jump the equivalent of, if it was a 6-foot man, it can jump about 6 inches high. A flea cannot jump over the London Eye.
Yes, it can. Yeah, it can.
And
Tell your kids that.
God. Oh,
remember.
Oh, a flea can jump over the London Eye. And an ant can lift 3 Volvos.
But you're talking about fitness people and that. Remember when we were in the pub, right?
Yeah.
And your mate Johnny was in there.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
And he was talking about that guy who got done, right? Because he entered a wheelchair race.
Yeah.
And there was nothing wrong with him. His legs were alright.
Yeah.
Now, he got done because he shouldn't have been involved in it.
Yeah.
But don't you think that really, he's really good for doing that, because he's not normally in a wheelchair.
Sure.
So he's not used to how they move about.
Yeah.
His arms aren't as strong as the other fellas who are always in the wheelchair.
Sure. He had his mate pushing him, that was the problem.
Yeah, it was motorised.
I'd give him a gold plus. You know, you're taking a bloke who's not used to doing something. He does it the first time and beats the people who are at it.
What about that woman, though, that was disqualified in the shooting, because she was in a wheelchair, and she was just in the normal, able-bodied Olympics, it was just, she entered, right? But she wasn't allowed to rest her elbow on the arm of her chair, because that was something disadvantage. She was in a wheelchair, and she's shooting, but she was getting an unfair advantage, and they said, you cannot put your elbow on the arm of your
Sneaky,
wheelchair.
aren't they? No, they are. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
Do you want to play
Some of them aren't even disabled, it turns out.
Hold on, though. We're talking about athletes, aren't we? What record should we play next?
I'd love to hear that single that was out a couple of months back by Athlete. Let's have Athlete. Man alive. West Side by Athlete, a track that I know you and I have enjoyed.
Yeah, it was one of our favourite new tracks of the year, that one. Yeah,
absolutely.
Very good. More of our favourite tracks to come on XFM 104.9.
You know,
me, Ricky Gervais, and you,
Steve Merchant,
and
Karl Pilkington.
Sure, go on.
You know, I was mentioning the high jump. High jump. Do you know the reason I didn't get the gold? It's faintly embarrassing, because the guy it was just neck and neck, me and another guy. In fact, he was slightly shorter than I was. And I was using the traditional Fosby flop. Is it the Fosby flop?
Fosby flop.
And he was using a method, which I can only describe as the Superman, where he was running at the bar and diving headfirst over it. I've never seen this technique before.
It's illegal, that's why.
Incredible. Is it not allowed?
The Fosby flop only works because his shoulder and are going over before his head.
Right.
That's they got around the rule. You weren't allowed to dive over because it was
obviously no one monitoring that.
Yeah, no.
Just the games teachers having a quick fag.
Yeah, yeah. What was his name again?
The
fag.
I think his name was Mr. Woodbine. Anyway, so he's using this method, right, and it gets neck and neck, and I don't know how many chances you get to knock down the bar, but anyway, it got to the point where basically I had to get over the bar, or I was going to come second.
Sure.
And I decided at that point to use his method, because he'd seemed to be doing so well with it. I thought, well, I'll try that then. That looks easy.
Oh dear.
And ran at the bar, launched, didn't actually get my feet off the ground, just hit the bar like I was someone finishing a race, you know.
Did you have...
It's so pathetic, just splattered everywhere.
I just want to get this picture of you at the age of what, 15, 16?
Yeah.
6'5" already, probably?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Probably what, about 9 stone?
Exactly.
Yeah. Did you have your glasses on?
Of course I did.
You must have looked pretty sexy.
Probably a small bum fluff tash.
Yeah. Yeah.
As well.
That must have been good. Was it true once, when you were about 16, you decided to wear a dicky bow to school?
Yeah.
That must have been great.
That was during my PG Woodhouse phase.
It's not. Yeah. You thought you'd be a hit with the ladies if you were more sophisticated.
Well, not only that, I thought it'd make me kind of kooky and eccentric.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't already. 6'7", goggle-eyed.
Yeah.
Like they're not already thinking there goes a weirdo. Oh, he's a weirdo with a bow tie.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Does it spin round, mate?
Yeah, what a
you're
catch.
getting me hot.
Exactly.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, I wore that for about 6 months, and it was in school colours, because we had to wear a tie at school, but this was a bow tie. I mean, now I don't, oh, man.
I can't believe it.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Carl, when you were, a little Pilkington, right? What was, if you had hair, what would it be like?
What do you mean?
Well, you obviously had hair then, back then. What was the style?
It was like, sort of, I had quite sort of, fine, sort of straight hair.
Yeah.
Right.
Hairdresser once said to me, "You've got hair of a Chinaman."
He was a wise man, wasn't he? What do you think that meant then? Oh.
He just said, he just said, "You've got the same hair as a Chinese man has. Very straight, quite fine."
Why is he telling you? I just imagine this pal going, "Oh, the Arsenal did well, didn't it, sir?" Shall I have something on that? You have the hair of a Chinaman. I'm sorry, nothing. You're not the spy. No, I'm not. Thank you. Good night. Oh,
You're not my sponsor.
yeah, lovely. You have the feet of a fish. I'm sorry, nothing. It's not you. Okay, next. You have the hair of a Chinaman.
It was one of those barbers. It was a cheap one, just on a railway bridge.
I don't believe that. Go on.
On a railway bridge?
That's why it was cheap. It was very low rent, so he could charge.
That wasn't a barber, that was a man with some scissors.
Yeah. Did you go, "Oh, I have to move you there, sir"? Wow. Okay, back in the chair, sir.
I imagine them on one of those things you always see in old films where you've got
You have to pump it up and down, yeah, like a seesaw. Yeah.
Wasn't as good as that. It was just a normal chair, little wooden hut, and he did have to stop when a train came past because it used to.
Well, because he had to change the signal.
Just making a few extra bucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I love
That's
that.
Manchester for you.
Oh, God.
I always
it
remember
wasn't
him.
Bernard Cribbins, was it?
I always remember him saying, "Do you want your hair washing?" And I said, "Is it free? You know, does it come with it?" And he said, "Yeah." So I said, "Oh, go on then." He said, "Hang on now, I'll just have to wash these mugs up." He had like a sink full of mugs.
Oh,
So I'll just
God.
take these out and then I can wash your head.
Oh, no.
And that's why.
Why did you go to this man?
It was cheap. It was
How
like
much was it?
About £2.
And when was this?
God, at 88, 89.
All right.
Yeah.
So what happened to your Chinese hair? When did it start coming
You
out?
have the hair of a bald Chinaman now, don't you?
You've got the hair of a Chinaman in a box now.
I used to just work a lot of hours, and I think,
That's what made it fall out.
yeah, of course.
No, it's
like-
not. It's genetic. You can't stop
not
it. no.
genetic.
Of course it is.
Your dad old? No, he's got more hair than me now, I think.
Is your mum?
Kojak's got more hair than you, Carl.
Anyway,
Don't have a go at Carl's hair, that's a bit harsh.
Oh, look at his little
what
face.
did he say before in that book about going bald? It said, it had a little tip, didn't it? We'll go over them later.
It says, if you're going thin, doesn't it say, cut your hair short and something like that?
So it makes you look thicker.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got people who are offering Carl lots of. We're coming up to that. In
Yeah,
a
well, we'll
few
go through that.
minutes
So obviously we
to win that BAFTA bag.
Shall I remind people what the competition was?
Yeah.
Last week we were giving away this bag that we got signed by various celebrities at the BAFTAs, and we asked you to email or write in with your suggestions as to what you have that you could swap for the bag, and it has to be something that will enhance Carl's life. We've had quite a lot of suggestions. I'll go through those a bit later, but they're some of them are quite eccentric.
Meanwhile, I'm going to play one of my favourite songs off one of my favourite albums.
I look forward to hearing it.
It's Radiohead. It's the Bends, and this is Black Star.
Go for it.
Sugar Cubes.
Hit.
Yeah, on XFM 104.9. Our last show till August.
Absolutely.
Sorry about that. We'll miss it. We can't avoid it really. We've got to go away and do some filming, and they're only going to miss you anyway, Carl. They can do without us now.
Zoe Ball's on.
Yeah, Zoe Ball. And who else is after her? She's not doing the whole run, is she?
Yeah, I think so.
Is she doing the whole 3 months? Is she?
Yeah.
Tell her not to get too comfortable.
Uh-huh.
Right? Don't let her feet. And don't let Big Boy Slim come in with her because he mixes up the records, doesn't he? And ruins them.
Yeah. Hey, talking of DJing.
Go on.
You know, I did that storming set the other night
Yeah.
for XFM.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Go on.
This was down at a little club, in case you weren't aware of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I went to the Sony's the other night.
Yeah.
Karl Pilkington sidles up to me, slips me an envelope.
Go on.
200 big ones in there.
Did he get paid cash for that?
Yeah.
£200. Taxman won't know about that. Cash in hand.
No, the tax won't know because I mean, obviously, no one who ever works in tax office is listening to local radio.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, so
No, the taxman will know about it.
yeah,
Because I'll declare it.
I would.
Put it, yeah, it's going straight down. I'll do it when I get home. Do it when I get in later on.
And don't write off rubbish that you buy anyway, like, you know.
No, I won't.
No.
I'll do it all above board officially. Fill it all in correctly. And so I'll send it now, I'll send it tomorrow so that you get it early. So it's not too busy for you, sir.
Oh, never mind. Oh, yeah, also, did you see, Liquid News last night?
No.
What is Liquid News? I don't really watch
It's the
Liquid
thing on, Choice, right, and it's, sort of celebrity news, yeah? And, Julian Clary, was on, and, they were talking about the Sony Awards the night before, which we went to, and they said, something like, a relatively unknown had won the entertainment award that we worked for, and Christian and Chris Moyles and Jonathan Ross said that, beating off bigger people, not he was beating off bigger people. They weren't suggesting he was.
Was Julian Clary beating off other not? Yeah.
Yeah. And it said, so, the people who didn't win resorted to silliness. And it cut, right? I don't know where the camera was, it must have been miles away, because it wasn't us. Cut to me making a little hat for you out of a Budweiser box, a little dialect thing, and then forcing it on your head, and you sort of struggling. Do you remember that?
I do remember it.
Yeah.
They're
always
well,
watching.
They were filming this?
They were filming it, yeah.
Scary.
So, yeah.
That's really scary, because some of the things we were doing...
Because I was tying scarves round your head, wasn't I? We were
touching Carl in an intimate way.
We were gaying him up.
Gaying him
weren't we,
up.
to make him
Whatnot.
feel all uncomfortable and everything. Because he doesn't like that sort of thing, do you?
Can't stand it.
We're going to be giving you a cuddle about 5 to 3, seriously. We are going to...
On the way out.
And I've got roaming hands.
Yeah.
Do you know them girls who came up from the radio academy and sort of said, "Oh, so you're Carl then?"
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. A couple of fans went up to Carl.
Just on the way out, I said to him again, I said, "Look, I'm not gay." Because they were convinced I was.
That's because if you remember a couple of weeks ago, we teased Carl that he had to go as Steve's partner, to the BAFTAs, and they really meant partners. You know, after the show, when he was walking home, he was going to go buy his suit, I actually said, they will ask you. He went, well, what if they say, and as we walk in, Steve Merchant and his boyfriend Carl, well, they might say that as you walk in, they might overdub it on the television, so he's going, well, what about my mates in Manchester? And he said, I'm not going. The risk of someone in Manchester thinking that he was going out with you, mind you, it was probably
Alright,
going, wow, if he was gonna
see where you're going with
if you were gonna be gay, you wouldn't choose Steve, would you?
No.
Who would you choose if you were gay?
If you could go out with any bloke, who would it be?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. He's thought about it before.
Go on. No, of course not. Hold on. No, who would it be? Who, if, you know, if you were gay, what bloke would you go out with?
God, probably, Jonathan Ross is alright.
You gay! You fancy Jonathan Ross, you Bender! Oh, Bender!
Rossi!
Bender.
Oh, you've got his number, haven't you? We should get contact.
I love you, Jonathan, you!
Jonathan, I love your film show. You're so funny and handsome and well.
Teacher educating Ricky, which is a bit of a play on words as well. Right, do you know the film, Steve?
Educating Rita.
Yeah.
I see what you've done. Go on.
I'm doing that, and I teach Ricky stuff.
What do you teach me, Carl?
Well, I've got a few different topics.
Go on.
Do you know, like how you taught me about Hitler and Che Guevara and Winston Churchill? I'm gonna come in with topics every week, and this week I've got,
Ghosts?
No, hanging bacon is one of the topics.
Say that again?
Hanging bacon.
Hanging bacon.
All the titles.
Francis Bacon.
No, all the titles are sort of named to sort of tease you and get you more interested in it.
Hanging bacon. Well, you've certainly intrigued
Go
me.
on, what's another title one?
Hairy Chinese kid.
I'm gonna go for that one.
If there was a university degree with that title.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go for hairy Chinese kid,
And
I
the
think.
final one,
Yeah.
Alien gives man a beard.
Right.
Alien gives man a beard.
I am gonna burst. Right, listen, Carl, you've gotta tell me. Right, first, right, let's do it in
No,
reverse
we're
order.
not gonna do it now anyway.
What do you mean? We've got to do it now. I mean, this is the first interesting thing you've said in an hour. Okay, the listeners have just been subjected to rubbish and mistakes and everything for the last 6 months. Please, we've got to do Alien gives man a beard. What is that? Tell us that.
Right.
Sorry, this is just you telling me something, is it? This feature is you telling me something.
Well, teaching you something, educating Ricky.
So are we playing it now? We're already into this feature. Well into this feature, are we?
Yeah, I suppose we are. Yeah.
Should there not be a jingle or something?
Yeah, can we have a
Well, there's
jingle?
no point because look, I come up with ideas and you dismiss them straight away. So I'm not wasting my time making stuff.
Right.
If you don't like
well, okay, let's play educating Ricky.
it. Right.
Brilliant. Go. Right.
so-
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Educating Ricky.
Right, what we going for then? Hanging the bacon, airy Chinese kid, alien gives man a beard.
I think alien gives man a beard.
I'd like to do that.
Right, there's this fella, I think it happened in America, and he saw a bright light in the sky. And,
God, if you're bored.
and he stood there.
This is a true story, is it?
Yeah. He stood there,
Yes, of course it isn't, Steve.
and he saw this bright light, and it came closer and closer, and it was a UFO, right?
Yep.
And he looked at it, and it disappeared, right? And he gets back in his car,
He looks in the mirror.
and he looks in the mirror.
Yep.
He's only got a beard.
He hasn't.
You sure it wasn't someone else who got in the car? And he was still standing out there?
No, right?
What?
And it turned out,
Yeah.
he got home and said to his wife or his girlfriend, it's a bit weird. So I just got out of the car to look at a bright light, and I got back in the car and grew a beard, and she said, never mind your beard, where have you been for 3 days? And what had happened is,
He passed out because he was pissed.
no, the UFO had taken him for 3 days,
Yeah.
but he'd only thought that he'd only looked at it and it went away.
Yeah.
But what had happened is, he
yeah.
took him, and
Yeah.
he grew a beard because he hasn't had a shave.
Right, okay. I mean, was Will Smith or Tommy Lee Jones anything to do with this at all? Did you see this on a video maybe and thought it was an educational film?
No, it's from a book that some kind person sent in to me. Here.
Can I just ask again, just again, I'm just throwing this right back at you. Do you think there's any other possible answer here? Right, a man is absent for 3 days from home.
He's
the
grown a
length
beard.
of time that it could take to grow a beard, lest we forget. What if he hadn't actually seen a bright light in the sky?
What if he
he'd
was
been
lying? What if
drunk?
he was lying?
He'd got knocked unconscious, he'd had a car crash.
Just
any number
lying.
of other
No,
things.
just lying.
Or he was just lying.
Yeah, he'd been on a bender, getting pissed for 3
Yeah,
days
and that
with
was
his
his
mates.
excuse to his wife.
And they went, Dennis, what are you gonna tell your wife?
Well, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
He's not going to believe I was out with you, lads.
Just say you're only away for a minute. No, I wasn't away from it because of the beard. Oh yeah, it looks like you've been out for 3 days. Well, we have, that's...
Exactly.
Right, okay, we've got to cover that then. Alien abduction.
Great one.
Okay, let's try that.
Do you see? That's a little scenario there that could have been played.
So, when you say educating Ricky, what have I learnt from this? Never listen to you again. That's all I've learnt so far. Never listen to you.
Yeah, we'll add a little bit more in here, right? To
Well,
spice this
no,
up.
what do you mean add a little bit more?
We'll add a bit more to this what I'm educating you about,
Go on.
right? There's only a law in America that says if you touch a UFO, you're gonna get done. Now, why would they make a rule? I don't know that, do you know, like, all their rules have a code?
Carl, I genuinely do not know what you're talking about.
Right, do you know, like, how here they might have...
Do you know
I
what...
have no idea.
Right,
Okay.
do you know, like, over here...
I'm listening to Capital on these headphones. I got Foxy on from yesterday.
Right, let's bin that.
No, wait, it's great. No,
I want to hear about airy Chinese kid. But we've got, thanks for staying, listening. Right, okay, educating Ricky. What have we got? Airy Chinese kid, go on.
Right, yeah, this is the, I didn't want to do this.
What do you mean you want to do it?
Well, I wanted to give you 3, and I gave you one. It was like the alien man gets a beard or whatever.
Yeah,
And-
which was total rubbish, so this one should be better, maybe.
Hairy Chinese kid. Right, well, we've talked about airy people in the past.
true enough.
Haven't we?
Yeah.
You know, the little kids who grew up in woods and hung around with wolves and that.
Yeah, again, you're confusing it. Yeah, there were some people that were born very hirsute. They were not the people who were brought up with wolves. You just put that together in your Homer Simpson type mind.
Right, well, this is like a sort of close to that sort of story.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is, right, Chinese people aren't that hairy as a nation. No, seriously, that's a well-known fact. They don't have that much body hair and stuff.
Okay.
So this little kid who was born over there, he was like covered in stuff,
Was he?
and it was only his nose that wasn't hairy. The rest of his body was caked in hair, right? And his hair sort of
What
grew.
sort of hair was it? Was
thick hair.
No, what I mean is, was it sort of, like a pony's mane, so he just looked like an Ewok? You know what I mean? Just like hanging down sort of straight, dark
Well,
hair.
in the picture, it looked like it grows
was it
from his
downy?
eyebrow. It grows from his eyebrows quite thick, and then it just goes all the way over.
You
his
don't think
head.
it was just really long eyebrows that he'd done a comb over?
No, it was all over his body. It had a picture of like his back and that.
Yeah.
And
Had he styled it? Had he styled it at all? Did he have it in a quiff or?
no, it was just
hanging everywhere.
all over him.
Yeah.
And they were like, you know, this is a bit weird, happening in China, where we're not normally that airy.
That was the scientist speaking there.
Yeah.
And the local press and that were getting him down, calling him monkey boy and all this.
Oh,
And
thinking Chinese press.
but the doctor,
Yeah. Oh.
They're cruel, aren't they? It's like
doctor-
those game shows.
well,
That's Japanese, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah.
and the doctor said,
I was talking through all that time while we were just like talking to each other then. Because I turned round and I still saw he was talking. Go on.
So anyway, the local press came down to see the hairy boy, the monkey
yeah,
boy.
and they were like being tight, taking the mickey out of him, and the doctor said,
Throwing him nuts.
he's only airy. Said, he's a healthy young kid. The only faults he's got is he's got a little bit of eczema and a boil. And he said everybody should just treat him the same, and I think he grew up a healthy kid. Yeah, so that's the,
That's
the end of the story.
That's not a story.
why?
But I've got nothing. I don't know what to say to that. So someone in China was born slightly hairier than the rest, and he was normal apart from eczema and a boil. That to me isn't a story. But if it is, I've got a million. I mean, it's sort of like bloke from Manchester went a bit bolder than the rest, got a job on radio. He was normal. I mean, that's not a story, is it? Do you know what I mean?
All right then.
Hang on.
Hold on, he's got the big guns. You're not going to give us hanging bacon, are you?
Yeah.
Come on then, come on then,
Right.
come
This is the one
on,
we've been looking
come
forward
on.
to. This is it.
No, this is a good one.
This is the one.
And this is a story, right? Do you know the saying, chewing the fat?
Good one. It's one of my favourites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what it means?
Talking.
Right. Well, do you know where it came from?
No.
Right. What they used to do years ago, when people didn't have much money.
Is this the same as throwing the baby out with the bathwater?
No, it's not. It's not the same saying, but
No,
it's,
but I mean, is it as wrong as that was?
Well, let me tell you, and we'll
Go
see.
on. Okay.
Like people go out to work, and with the money, they'd buy food.
Oh yeah, go on. This is a good system. What? Go on. What do you mean? People go out to work and with the system.
And
Well, go on.
if you were quite well off, you might treat your family to some bacon, right? But do you know, like in these days, if people earn a lot of money, they might buy a nice suit or a car.
Yeah. So what are you saying? You're saying wait. Let me get this straight. You're saying that you go out to work and get money to buy things to live, and if you get sort of enough money to live and you've got some left over, you might treat yourself on like a suit or a car or something. Is that what you're?
Yeah.
Oh,
But
go on.
back then, if
Yeah.
they earned money, they'd say,
This is olden times.
yeah,
Okay.
let's get some bacon in, right? And what they'd do, they'd hang it in the kitchen
What, to show it off?
to show it off to all the neighbours and friends. Because if you had hanging bacon, it was like, he's doing alright for himself.
Yeah.
Some lovely bacon.
So they had loads of bacon hanging up, and people would come round, right? And whilst they stood in the kitchen talking about whatever they're talking about,
in olden times.
they'd say, do you want a bit of rind? And they'd rip a little bit of rind off, and whilst they're having a chit-chat,
Chewing the
they'd
fat.
chew on the rind.
Well, I think that's probably true.
And
I
it's
haven't
like-
heard that, but that one to me sounds true. Do you see the difference between that one and a man was abducted and grew a beard? Can you see the difference in
Yeah, but
why I
different-
accept that
different-
story?
Different stories for different things.
Different stories for different things. So, see, that's a nice story. If it's true, I don't know if it's true. I mean, but it seems totally possible, viable, quite interesting. I won't be quoting that myself until I've verified it. But that's, you know, I won't be telling anyone the bloke got in the car and he had a full-faced beard. Why has his car been towed away?
Because it was a quiet road.
Was it?
wasn't in the way. So,
Are you filling in the blanks again? That wasn't in the book, was it, that you read? See, this is the thing. Sometimes I think you make up bits of the story as though they were fact. That doesn't seem right.
well, that's all you can do, innit? So that's educating Ricky. Will we
Brilliant.
do that next week?
That is brilliant.
No, I think that was good. I did. I mean, I enjoyed that. I learned something from that.
I mean, I want to get a, I mean, this is all from one book, is it?
yeah.
That's an interesting book.
With the, I don't want to dwell on it, but with the hairy Chinese kid, what did they say about that? What was the, I mean, was it, once there was born a kid who was slightly more hairy than everyone else, but yeah, it's alright, he only had a boil. How did they word it? How did this capture your imagination?
There was a
Well,
picture.
it was a picture that grabbed me, first of all.
Sure.
And it was like, God, what's up with him? And that's when I read it.
Did you see the boil and the eczema or just the hair?
No, you see, because his face is like, just under his eyes is sort of nice and smooth, and his nose is sticking out, and that's not hairy. But the rest of him, it looked like he had the sort of a balaclava on or something. And then I read on, and it's like, this is a hairy kid in China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay, good. Anything else in there? Because, I mean, I like
No,
that.
we'll do more of that next week.
How is that alongside, hanging bacon, alien abduction, a hairy Chinese kid, and, a little interesting fact about the derivation of a phrase?
What do you mean?
He didn't understand a word of that.
So, last week we started good sort of play on words that we had going.
Go on.
The well-known film Educating Rita.
Yeah. That's become, thanks to Karl Pilkington's brain, it's become...
I've tweaked it a bit, and now it's Educating Ricky.
Brilliant.
Right? And that was a new feature we started last week, if you weren't listening, where I teach Ricky stuff.
What did you teach me?
Taught you about that little Chinese hairy kid.
Yeah, you didn't teach me anything. You said there was a kid that was born that was slightly hairy than other Chinese people.
Where the saying "chewing the fat" came from.
I enjoyed
that was good. That was interesting.
Good.
And a man who had a beard because he was being abducted for 3 days. Again, that was rubbish.
Lest we forget.
That taught me more about you than about alien abduction.
But what happened last week is,
Go on.
we sort of talked about it all in one go. And you can't...
Whereas this week you've done what? You've spread it out over the show.
Well, I spread it across the 2 hours, because I always found that if you try to be taught too much in one go, you just can't take it in and it'll be wasted.
Is that your experience of school?
Yeah.
They taught you in 3-minute bursts.
Yeah, and not every day.
Yeah.
Every other
When
month.
you felt like it.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what we're going to do, right?
So we've got Educating Ricky coming up. That's
Educating
exciting
Ricky across the 2 hours.
Okay, look forward to
and
that.
what I do is, I've made little headlines again, and you decide which story you want to go
All of
for
them.
first.
Well, give me the first headline.
No, not yet. We'll do that in a
Well,
bit.
give me a teaser.
Hang on a minute, I'm telling you what else.
Right.
So,
Okay.
the way this works is,
What would you rather be, Carl?
I teach you
Superheroes.
3 things.
A frog boy, yeah, that you could leap onto a house, but you had to go blah, first and leap onto a house. You're this frog boy, right, and that could be useful, couldn't it?
That's very useful, yeah.
Right, amploid, where you've got your hands and microphones, and you can talk into your hand and your whole body, it's like 100 decibels, you can go, "Oi, come here!" And people can hear you from miles away, amploid, right? Right? Or sado, right? And that means that you can go up to anyone and go, alright, and they don't know why, they just get fed up for the whole day.
Which of those would you prefer? Don't answer now, have a think about it. Have a think about it.
The frog thing, do I look like one, or...
No, you're just you and your little Ben Sherman shirt and everything, and they go, and people walk along and they go, "Oh, look at that young child on that roof, he's gonna fall, I wish Frog Boy was here," and you go, "Blah," and you go down, you go, "Blah," and they go, here's him! And they don't recognise you when you're squatting, they go, "I don't know who you are." And you leap up there and say, and you come back and they go, "Where's Frog Boy?" And you're standing up and you go, "Don't know, he went that way."
Yeah, I'd probably have that one.
Would
Probably
you?
go with Frog Boy?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Okay, go on.
Right, so, did that just go out?
What?
All that.
Go on, I've got a bad...
Hey, look, Rick, Carl's really planned this show. He's really worked out. He came in early, he was writing things down.
And there's me
planning
just
it,
coming up with rubbish
and
like
you were
that.
just talking rubbish. So, Carl, I know you've been
Right.
thinking this through. What have you got?
So, Educating Ricky, we did it last week. It's where I teach you some stuff, but rather than just teach you something, I tease you, so you want to know more, so you want to take in information, right? So,
If only people had taught you like that, Carl.
And also, it's the name of a film, sort of, nearly.
Coming up soon, Henry VIII and his, well, how many wives? Come back tomorrow, Carl, to find out.
Right. Well, the little headlines I've got to sort of tease you with the story.
Yeah, this is gonna hurt me and I'm not very well. Go on.
Right, we've got,
So this is what, sorry, I've just got lost for a minute there.
It's Educating Ricky.
This is Educating Ricky,
Yeah.
and these are the stories that these are the things you're gonna tell him.
yeah,
But these are just headline versions.
these are headlines,
This is not
because
the actual fact.
then I think people will remember things.
Okay, alright, so you,
do you know what I mean?
sort of bullet points.
Who can forget Hairy Chinese Boy?
Indeed, I shall never forget that.
Yeah.
So, first headline,
Ooh.
don't do that to it, you know it can't live without an head.
I've got no idea. It could be about the French Revolution, it could be about anything.
I know what it is!
No, you think you do, but...
No, it's something I taught you!
Is it?
Is it the fact that cockroaches can live for 9 days without a head?
That's part of it, but it's something different as well. That's why I thought we'd bring it up.
okay.
Okay, brilliant. So that's something to
Next one, do you won't work it out? If only it was raining.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Go on.
And the last one, what's tomato with you?
What's tomato with you?
Yeah.
Look how pleased he is.
You're obsessed with puns, aren't you, at the moment, Kay?
It just works. I think it works.
Yeah. We love puns.
So, there you go.
So which of those are you going to choose, right?
Oh, well, I'm gonna have to choose. Don't do that, you know it can't live without an head. Carl, what's the story then?
Right, so what did you say you're going for? You've got your 3 titles, your 3 teasers.
Well, I think I'm gonna go for don't do that to it, you know it can't live without an head.
I'm looking forward to this.
Right.
Right.
So this is Educating Ricky, for those that have just tuned in.
Now, something that Ricky told me about when he was educating me was that a cockroach, if you cut its head off, it lives for a week,
Yeah.
right?
And the only
what
reason it dies is because it can't take on water.
Sure. It doesn't have a great time in that week, though, does it?
No.
I mean, it doesn't get much done, I don't imagine.
It just needs water, and because it can't find any, like its eyes, it eventually dies,
Yeah.
right?
No.
So what?
No, it's not, that's not, it's 'cause
Anyway.
it can't drink.
Anyway.
So have you heard that one about worms?
Okay.
I have, go on.
If you cut a worm in half,
Yeah.
a lot of people have said in the past that it'll turn into 2 worms.
Right.
But that isn't actually true.
Okay. Who said that?
No, it used to be like, you know,
Kids at school
they said it on, kids at school and stuff.
Yeah.
So that, you know, a lot of people think that.
Don't pick him up on stuff, Steve, it's bad enough.
Sure.
So, but what they can do, if you get a worm, right, and you find out which end its head's at,
Right.
if you you've got its head there at the left-hand side, right, and if you sort of cut it in half,
Right.
but not in half, so there's more of its neck than the tail, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bit that you've cut off will sort of die, and the rest of the worm will get better. So in a way, you can cut it in half, and it'll survive, but only one half will survive.
Okay.
Yeah? What have you learnt
I
there?
wish you hadn't chosen that one, Rick, to be honest.
I know, because it's nothing, is it?
Yeah,
You know that
no
joke, you know that
information.
joke, how do you tell a worm's head from its you put it in a bowl of flour and wait till it farts,
Yes.
right? I told my mate that, right, and he went, what if it coughs?
Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So, there is a bit of truth in that myth of cutting one in half.
Where did you get this information? I don't understand where you get this
That
information
was from the Fortean Times. It was like the myth about worms.
Yeah.
That was the big article that week.
Did it take you as long to read that article as it took you to tell us just then?
I like the fact that it starts off debunking a myth
Yeah.
that we have heard of anyway.
Exactly.
You know the big thing about cutting a worm in half and making 2 worms?
No.
Yeah. What's the other one? What's
I
the
mean,
other
it's not the thing to do either, by the way. Don't go doing it.
No. It's not very nice.
But,
It's cruel.
but it can get by
And
if
it's
you
pointless.
do. Yeah.
There's no scientific worth
Yeah.
in that.
Well, there you go.
Okay then.
So the others now, you see
was the
what I
others?
do. No,
What was
I
the
tell you
others?
the other titles. You're not having them yet. That's the whole idea of this. People will be driving or about to go out doing the shopping. They'll think about that now.
What was the other 2?
Well, the other 2.
They won't think about that. They've forgotten
No,
that.
they will. They will.
No, they've forgotten that already.
If only it was raining. And what's tomato with you?
Right,
That-
you've
I'm
gotta
looking
tell
forward
us-
to that one.
No, you've got to tell me tomorrow with you.
Look what's happening. You see, you already want more of education, and this is what listeners will be doing.
I tell you, I wish you were a teacher. I so wish you were a teacher.
Do you know what I mean? Kids would be saying, I know it's 3:30, but I don't want to go home, I want more.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing with you. I'm teaching you.
Why are
sticking
you
in
teaching
information.
me things about not to cut worms in half and what's tomato with you? Please tell me what's tomato with you, Carl.
In a bit.
No.
In a bit.
Rick,
What?
I tell you, he's thought the show through. He's
Yeah.
teasing the audience. You're excited. They're listening.
Yeah, maybe.
No, it's Educating Ricky Part 2.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
I wasn't even listening. He's doing all the work, I wasn't even listening. Oh, and he spilled some water on that. Right, what's this one again then?
Right.
What's the teaser headline?
teaser headline is, what's tomato with you?
Brilliant.
Yeah?
Go on.
How excited were you when you came up with that? You couldn't wait to come in and tell us, could you?
That's just,
Look at
I
his
think it's a
face.
good one because you won't forget it now, will you? I mean, like the worm one. What's so special about the worm?
You know, a lot of people think that if you cut a worm in half, two worms will grow, but no. What happens is if you cut the head end slightly nearer the tail than the tail will die, but the worm with the head will be okay. So, it's exploded a myth, and it taught me something.
Right, so, the second one, part 2 of educating Ricky. What's tomato with you?
Yeah.
What this one's about is, ages ago,
This is scientific.
There's never a date. There's never a country, a location.
Okay, settle down, children. This is A-level history. Right.
Once upon a time.
Yeah. When a mental place with swords was a king, forget his name, but he was a loony. So, and it was literally ages ago.
Yeah.
So, good luck in the exam. Yeah.
right, so like, you know, alright, many years ago.
Oh, yes. Yeah, cleared that up. Go on.
They thought tomatoes were poisonous. Right?
Okay.
Because what
Hold on, are they going to be proved wrong at the end of this story?
Well,
Because I don't want to give away the ending, but is it something to do with are they poisonous tomatoes?
no.
Oh, you're having a laugh.
I don't believe it.
But,
Go on,
but
go on.
I could have been eating tomatoes all this time.
Oh, Steve, what's tomato with you anyway?
Okay, so hang on a minute.
What's
Let's just
tomato with
recap quickly. Many years ago,
Yeah.
when people thought tomatoes were poisonous.
Yeah.
Go on, yeah.
Well, they didn't know they were poisonous then, because they were still eating them. But what was happening
Well, they're not.
was-
But they're not poisonous.
but hang on a minute.
Alright, and it's not, I'm just gonna listen. I'm not even
Okay,
gonna
yeah,
talk.
no, okay, I'm not going to tackle
So,
anymore.
if you remember, years ago, they didn't have, like, pottery plates. they had lead plates, right?
What are you talking?
Just let him talk.
Sorry, what year is this?
Let him talk.
Come on.
Plates made out of lead, and
Right.
what they'd end up doing, they'd say, right, do you want a tomato? And they'd go, yeah, alright. And they'd put the tomato on the lead plate and cut it. And because of the acid in the tomato, right, it would sort of make the lead runny, and the lead would go into the tomato, and they'd say, oh, it's lovely this, and they'd be eating it. They'd get food poisoning, lead poisoning, what have you, and they'd be really ill. So they thought tomatoes were poisonous, so they didn't eat them for many years.
And when
then
you say
someone
they,
said,
do you
this
mean
didn't
the people
happen.
of Narnia?
Yeah, this didn't happen,
Where was
Carl.
this happening?
Sort of in Britain and that.
You put him on the spot there. Oh, I hope there's no uppity pupils at this school when they go, what do you mean, sir? Oh, if you're gonna... Oh, I'm fed up with you.
Do you understand?
No.
So the
No, you've got... No, right, okay, first of all, Carl, where'd you get this information from?
Where did
14
I get
times
that?
as well?
Do you know,
You can't remember.
I don't know where I got that from. I don't know where I got it from. But why don't you think that makes sense?
But, what? Someone once got lead poisoning from a tomato?
Not just one, loads, and then all of a sudden... No.
Why is this educating me?
Because I'm telling you that tomatoes, you
I
eat them...
can't take anything away from this.
Yeah,
I don't know what to take away from this. What have I learned? What have I learned? Don't mix lead with tomatoes. Why is this educational in any shape or form? What are you telling me? A long time ago in the land of Glunk, right, where the ninnies did slib, right, they thought tomatoes were poisonous because they ate plates of lead. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but we all know tomatoes aren't poisonous.
Is that what we're taking from the story?
Is that the moral of the story? Don't believe these people that I'd never heard of before. What are you talking about, Carl?
I think it's a bit weird.
It's a bit weird, yeah.
Is these the same people that were spreading those malicious worm rumours?
My hangover's coming back. I've got to get some water.
We've got,
Go on. Hurry up,
educating, educating Ricky, where the teacher stuff.
Because you taught me that people used to eat tomatoes off lead plates in the land of Narnia last week,
that's
which was
what we learned
good.
last week.
Yeah.
No, what
It's
was-
only tomatoes they ate off the lead plates, by the way. Why didn't they think other fruits and vegetables were poisonous?
No, it wasn't. It was because tomatoes had acid in them. That was the problem. You see, you don't listen, right?
Well, lots of fruits have acid in them.
Yeah, but they didn't eat them back then. they didn't have bloody kiwi fruit and stuff.
Don't
did they,
say
back then?
bloody. You're a producer.
Come on,
You'll start saying shit and cock and stuff. You start saying bloody
Tits.
Right. So,
Right. What is this? What are you doing now?
this is educating Ricky, right?
Oh, good. I'm going to
excellent.
look forward to this.
Yeah.
3 topics that I teach you every week.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I should just remind people, you normally summarise each of these in a kind of bullet point heading, which you tease us with. So
Yeah.
what have you reduced them to this week?
Right, we've got, Stocking, Aitken and Waterman.
Stocking, Ekin and Waterman. Good.
Yeah. What else have we got? Oh, let me just start over. We've also got, what else is it? It's not his vault. Yeah?
It's not what?
It's not his vault.
Okay.
Yeah? And we've also got, get a lobe of this.
Get a lobe of this.
Yeah.
Carl, they're genius.
Before we do educating, Ricky, this is where Carl thinks he can give me something of interest and teach me something to take away. Last week I found out that, somewhere in a strange land, people thought tomatoes were poisonous because they ate them with lead. Things like that. What was the other one you told me?
What else was it last week? Bit of worms. Cut me off.
Yeah. Oh, I sent him a text message. I was on the train, a bit bored, and I read in, I think it was Metro, scientists have found out that worms get stressed, and they found out that the fat ones didn't live as long, and when they checked the thin ones that lived longer, they found out they had a gene for de-stressing them. Right, Carl? Do you remember what you said?
No.
He went, well, that's stupid, isn't it? He said, did these other ones die of natural causes? I went, yeah. He went, alright. Because it could be that the fat ones couldn't get off the pavement quick enough and got squashed. So maybe the scientists go, yeah, we didn't... yeah, they come to think of it, they were flat as well as fat.
I think the reason that the worms are getting stressed is because people like Carl are cutting them in half to try and make 2 snakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Two worms.
Well,
Yeah.
well.
That's the concern.
he said they can't even commit suicide if they're stressed by cutting their throat. I also sent what I thought was quite interesting, that the scientists have found that the elephant hasn't got the best memory. The sea lion has,
Right.
based on they've got a sea lion and they got it back into the old laboratory. 10 years after it taught it a simple trick, and it could still do the trick. What did you say to that, Carl?
I'd say they don't go up to much anyway, so if you do teach it something, it is going to remember it.
Sure.
Because it's got nothing else to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it also, I mean, I like sea lions, they look nice and everything, but what do they do?
What was that? Sea lions?
Yeah, what are they here for? It's another jellyfish, as far as I'm concerned. It's like, it's there and people know about them, but what do they do?
Yeah.
What do we do? What do we do, Carl?
Well,
what do we do?
A cat, first, Steve said, is good for your heart. So
Why is it all geared to what's good for us?
well...